a quick tour around Swiflearn and see what is Swiflearn all about. Hi Anushka, hi Divya, how are you? Okay, so Swiflearn, it is India's most sincere learning destinations where we provide the classes for grade 1 to grade 10. How is it sincere? Because over here we have 100% live interactive classes. Live interactive classes means you will be connecting with your teachers through audio and video calls and you will be taking on your lessons. Then we have personalized attention batch with maximum 6 students in every batch so that the teachers can provide attention to you. After that, there will be an academic mentor team which will always look after you, which will track your progress and who will guide you if you have or if you come across any issue. Then we also cover the syllabus as per your school exam schedule so that you can perform amazingly well there also. So all these things you are getting in Swiflearn, plus there are some of the key features also. Let us see about them. So we have detailed progress report over here. That means your progress report, it will contain the test marks of every chapter that you attempt test of, then your homework, how do you do it, how do you attend the classes, how do you attempt the practice test, everything will be listed. And we have Swiflearn academic test series. Therein you can compete with the students of your age, of your grade, and you can also win some scholarships. Then we have unlimited practice tests which are available on the Swiflearn portal, and also subjective tests. So all these things you are getting, and you can take the experience by booking a very free trial class on Swiflearn. All you need to do is just download the Swiflearn app and you can book your free trial class of any subject. There are various subjects which are listed over here and they are amazing. So yep, and please subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any update or any chapter of Swiflearn, because there are amazing teachers who give amazing lessons, right? And if you like this video, press the like button and also comment. Okay, so revealing today's chapter, it is human digestive system. We are going to do human digestive system for today and it is our first session. So without wasting any more time, let us quickly start. So what our learning objectives for the day is, we are going to learn why is food needed, what are the different ways of taking food, what are the different type of nutrients, and digestion in humans, like how the digestion happens, what are the processes that are involved in the digestion of human beings. Alright, so it is very obvious that all the plants or all the animals, they need food, right? Whether it's small like ant or maybe amoeba or as big as giraffe or elephant, we all need foods. But why do we need food? What is the use of food? We need food because it gives us energy to perform various life processes. Okay, so we need some nutrients and these nutrients we are getting from the food. So basically we need food because it gives us the nutrients for our daily life activities. Very correct, Divya, we need food because of living. So we need to do various activities and that is why we all require food, whether it is as small as amoeba or as large as some giraffe or elephant. So everyone requires the food. Now we have seen that every organism, every living organism present on the planet Earth, they need the food. But why? Where do we get this food from? So the sources of our food, it may be plant, it may be animals. Okay, so our basic sources of food are plants and animals. Okay, now talking about the nutrition, what is meant by nutrition? Now what happens? We all require the nutrients in our body. Okay, so our body calls for the nutrients. We all require nutrients. Okay, then we have some mode for intake of food. Intake of food means taking in our food. Okay, then that food, it is utilized for giving the energy, and these all process together, they are known as nutrition. Okay, so all in all, what is nutrition? The requirement of nutrients by our body, then taking in of the food and utilization of food in our body for our various life processes. It is known as nutrition. So what are the different nutrients which are required by our body? We have carbohydrates, we have vitamins, we have fats, proteins, minerals, waters, etc., etc. So these are all the nutrients which are required by the body, and every kind of nutrient has its basic amount that this is required by an average adult human being. Okay, so if I talk about the nutrition, it consists of various steps. Okay, so there are some 5 steps which are involved in the nutrition, and how do they give us, how the food which we intake gives us the energy. So first is ingestion, second is digestion, third is absorption, then we have assimilation and digestion. Okay, so these are the 5 processes, and we are going to see about each and every process one by one. Ingestion. In means taking in, right? So ingestion means the intake of food or the taking in of food. It is known as ingestion. Okay, तो जो method होता है ingestion का, hi Gurbir, how are you? So the method of ingestion, it is different from plants, from various type of animals. Okay, so ingestion, it basically means जो food हम अंदर लेते हैं, that process. Okay, so the taking in of food or the intake of food, it is known as ingestion. Okay, now there are different ways of taking food. Okay, so if I talk about human beings, how do we eat food? We just eat it like this. So we use our hands to put the food in our mouth, and we swallow it after chewing it. Okay, so that is our process. If I talk about the babies, the infants of humans and various other animals, they feed on their mother's milk. Okay, if I talk about the snakes, they just swallow the animals. Okay, so they swallow the animals, they do not chew the animals. Okay, they swallow it, and then the various digestive juices, they take out the energy from the food. And if I talk about frogs, so frogs, they have this sticky long tongue. So whenever they see their prey, any insect, they just take their tongue out, the animal or the insect sticks on it, and they take it. So these are the various processes, these are the various processes by which animals or plants take in the food. Okay, so if I talk about food not digested, okay, so various people have this complaint that they have acidity, or their food which they eat, it is not digested properly. But actually, what is meaning of digestion? Digestion hota kya hai? So it is actually the breakdown of complex food into simpler substances. Okay, so whatever we eat, various kind of food we eat, we cannot use them directly for providing the energy. First of all, it is broken down into some simpler substances. Okay, let's take an example. We eat a chapati. Okay, so it has various things. It may have protein, it may have carbohydrates. So we need all these things for our daily activities. So this complex food, which is a chapati, it is broken down into simpler substances, which is maybe protein, which is maybe fat, which is maybe carbohydrates. So these simpler substances are used for our daily activities. And this process of breakdown of complex food into simpler substances, it is known as digestion. Okay, so digestion process is different in humans, in grass-eating animals, in amoeba, in hydra. Okay, so every organism present on the earth, they have different digestion process. Okay, now we eat food every day, but have you ever wondered what happens to food inside us? So it first of all gets digested. Okay, तो जो हमारा digestion होता है, it starts right from our mouth. So that is known as buccal cavity. Okay, so it starts from buccal cavity and it ends to anus. Okay, so digestion, if I talk about only humans, it starts from buccal cavity, it ends in the anus. Okay, but starting and ending in between, we have long processes to go. Okay, so in this process, what happens, our food, it moves through long canal, which is divided into total 6 parts. Okay, and these all 6 parts actually combine to form what is known as alimentary canal. Okay, so we have 6 parts, which is the buccal cavity, that is our mouth, then esophagus, which is also known as the food pipe, then we have stomach, we have small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Okay, so these are the 6 parts from which our food is passing. Okay, and these parts combine to form together what is known as alimentary canal. Okay, so let's have a look at the various parts. This is the buccal cavity right in our mouth. It starts from here. Then we have esophagus, which is known as the food pipe. Then we have the stomach over here, large intestine that you can see a bit thick one. It is the large intestine. This is the small intestine, which is actually not small. We are going to see it in further slides. And here anus, it ends it over here. So there are some of the glands which actually secretes the digestive juices. Okay, so we cannot directly convert this complex food into simpler form. Okay, we need various things, we need various juices, digestive juices. So these are present in the glands. Okay, in the glands of our body. So the digestive glands juices, they work to convert the complex food into simpler form in various parts of the alimentary canal. So we have salivary glands, we have pancreas, we have liver. Okay, so if I talk about the whole digestive system, it is a combination of alimentary canal plus the digestive juices. तो ये सब दोनों मिलकर बनाते हैं what is known as digestive system. So this is whole digestive system that we have. Okay, buccal cavity, we have salivary glands, we have esophagus, then we have this liver over here. This is stomach, large intestine, small intestine and anus. तो ये सारे जो पार्ट्स है ये मिलकर हमारा पूरा डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम बनाते हैं. एंड द यूज ऑफ डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम इज टू convert the complex food into simpler substances which can be used for generating the energy for various life processes in our body. अच्छा, अब स्टार्ट करते हैं हम बकल कैविटी से, माउथ से. So the food, it is ingested through mouth. Very obviously we take in food through our mouth. Okay, so in our mouth we have tongue, we have teeth, we have salivary glands. So these are the three things present in our mouth. Okay, talking about the tongue, it is a muscular organ. It helps in mixing the saliva. So we have saliva in our mouth, which is the tongue helps in mixing the saliva in our food and also push the food down the food pipe. So because of the tongue, we are able to push our food down in the food pipe and then the various processes take place. I'm sorry. Also the tongue has various taste receptors. Okay, taste receptors means we get the taste of various kind of food through our tongue only. So we have these receptors like bitter, sour, sweet, salty. So because of these taste receptors, we get the sense of taste. And also obviously the tongue helps in talking. Next, we have absorption. Absorption means अपने अंदर लेना. Right? So at this stage, our digested food, it is absorbed and passed through intestinal wall into the bloodstream. मतलब कि यहाँ पर हमारा food body में absorb होने लगता है for the energy generation. Okay, Divya, it's saliva. So saliva is kind of liquid which is present in our mouth, which helps to mix the food and it gives a somewhat liquid texture to our food, which helps in pushing down our food in the food pipe. Okay, then it is assimilation. So assimilation means the utilization of absorbed food. अब food absorb तो कर लिया, लेकिन उसको utilize करना भी important है, right? That is how we will be generating energy. So assimilation means the utilization of absorbed food by and then it is taken by the body cells and फिर it is used for energy, growth, repair and various life processes. Okay, so we have digestion, then we have assimilation, which is actually the taking in or utilization of the absorbed food for generation of energy. Okay, then digestion. So the undigested food, okay, whatever we eat, it's not necessary that everything will be digested. So there are some waste overs which are left. So that undigested food, it needs to be eliminated from our body. Okay, yeah, Divya, utilization means whenever we are using it for anything, any purpose. Okay, so if I talk about assimilation, utilization of absorbed food मतलब उसका use करना किसके लिए? To form new body cells, to form energy, to for growth and for repair. Okay, so digestion, as I was telling, there is there is always some undigested food which is left in our body, and that needs to be eliminated out from the body. Okay, so it takes place in various forms, such as solid form as feces, then we have liquid form as urine or sweat maybe, and in gaseous form also in the form of carbon dioxide. So we have all these things which are used. Okay, now talking about the food, we cannot use the food in complex form, obviously, because the complex food cannot be digested, taken for energy in our body. So we need to break down it into simpler substances. Okay, so why do we need to break down into simpler substances? First of all, it is for better absorption and utilization. तो अच्छे से एब्जॉर्ब करने के लिए और अच्छे से यूटिलाइज करने के लिए जो भी हमने फूड लिया है, वी नीड टू break them down into simpler substances. Okay, so what are the various processes which are involved over here? The digestive system involves taking in the food, that is ingestion, then we have digestion, then we have absorption, assimilation and digestion. So these are the processes which are involved in the digestive system, and at the last the energy is released from the food that we take in. Okay, talking about human digestive system, we have two important parts. Okay, so we have alimentary canal and we have the digestive glands. Okay, so human digestive system, it is made up of two important parts, alimentary canal and digestive glands. Now, what is alimentary canal? It is a muscular and tubular structure. So it's tube-like structure, you can see, which starts from mouth and it ends up to anus. So it's a long muscular and tubular structure which is starting from the mouth and it is ending to the anus. Okay, and what are the important parts? We have mouth, we have pharynx, we have esophagus, stomach, small and large intestine, rectum and anus. So these are all the important parts of alimentary canal. And digestive glands, so these are the various glands which are used to secrete the enzymes, okay, which actually speed up the biochemical reaction which help in digestion of our food. And in our digestive system, we have three pairs of salivary glands, pancreas and the liver. Okay, talking about the liver, it is the largest gland in the human body and its approximate weight is about 1.5 kg. Okay, so this is the weight of liver, and talking about the liver, it is the largest gland. Okay, so let us see what are the things that we have covered today. We have covered various things like digestion, what is meant by nutrition, what is tongue used for, and what are digestive systems, what are the organs of digestive system. So let's have a quick revision. So digestion is actually the breaking down of the food, okay, of the complex food actually, into simpler substances so that they can be absorbed by our body easily. Next, talking about nutrition. So nutrition is the requirement of nutrients by our body. Then we have the mode of intake of food, okay, how we take in the food, and then utilization of that food which we have taken in for giving out the energy. So this whole process, it sums up to known as nutrition. Then we have significance of tongue. So tongue is a muscular organ which is helping in mixing the saliva with the food, which also helps in pushing down the food in the food pipe, and it has various taste receptors which are helpful in tasting the various things that we eat. Okay, talking about the human digestive system organs, we have buccal cavity, it starts from our mouth. Then we have various salivary glands, we have esophagus, we have small and large intestine, then we have stomach, we have pancreas, and the last we have anus. So these are the various organs of human digestive system. Okay, fun fact, the muscles in your esophagus act like a giant wave that is what moves or drinks down to your stomach. Okay, so here the muscles in our esophagus, they are acting like a giant wave, and because of that only we are able to push down the food. An average person produces 2 pints of saliva every day, which is used in obviously mixing our food and pushing it down. The small intestine, this is what I told you. The small intestine, it is very, very large. Okay, it isn't small, it's named as a small intestine, but if we stretch it out, it would cover the space of whole tennis court. So this is how large it is. It's not actually small. Okay, Now challenge of the day. So challenge of the day asks that can we survive only on raw and leafy vegetables or grass? So the answer is absolutely no. We cannot survive on grass or raw and leafy vegetables, because if I talk about grass, it is rich in cellulose, okay, and we as humans are not able to digest the cellulose. Talking about the raw vegetables also, see, we need various nutrients, we need fats, proteins, carbohydrates, etc, etc. So these all things are not fulfilled just by the grass or by the raw leafy vegetables. So we need everything, and that is why it's not possible for humans to survive on the grass and raw leafy vegetables, because I told you in the very starting that every organism has a different kind of digestive system, right? So we cannot survive on these kind of food, but herbivores can survive. Okay. So absorption process occurs in intestine. Then we have, which is the largest gland in human body? We just now saw that it is liver. And the breakdown of complex food into simpler substances, it is known as digestion. So yep, let us see if our answers are correct. Yeah. Okay, so what are the things that we have covered today? We have covered the food which is required for a life, then what are the different ways of taking in the food, and we have saw the different type of nutrients that we have, and how the digestion process occur in the humans. Okay, so it was very easy chapter. I hope that you might have understood everything, and we will be taking this chapter a bit forward in the next class. So I'll be waiting for you in the next class, and till then you just keep revising, keep learning, and yes, please download the Swiflearn app and book your trial class. I am sure you will be loving it. Alright, so let's meet in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.